Uh, okay. Hello and welcome back to Warhammer 2 Total War. This will be our Araby campaign. Last time, I think we managed in taking back most of our territory, and I think I was just poised to attack Arkhan before we stopped. Yes. Speaking of Arkhan, my Arkhan campaign is it's not going too well. Right. I can show a picture while this is loading. Let me have a look. Here we go. So I've mentioned before that I might have mentioned before that I don't know how much longer this campaign will be going on for. Partly because I don't really want to have another 20 episode campaign. I mean, I don't personally have any problem with a long campaign. It all really comes down to whether I'm having fun with it. And with the Halfling one, I was. Mostly up until about 20 episodes in. So that's about when I stopped it. But it's not really just that. If I change the window capture over, this will serve to... Where is it? This one. Serve to illustrate what I'm talking about. Okay, so here, if the game will let me... There we go. You can see this screenshot I've taken. This is of my Arkhan campaign, as you can see up the top here. And it's currently on turn 176. Now, in my Arkhan campaign, I had fully taken over Nehekara, and I had moved over to take Nagashazar, which is a big deal for Arkhan, because holy crap, the bonuses you get from that is incredible. Plus 100 vampire counts units, minus 5 turns for global recruitment cost. Oh, it is, you could be able to spam armies like nobody else's business. Was that. However, I got to Nagashazar, the dwarves beat me, and then you might be able to see here, the dwarves declared war on me, beat Arkhan and my 3 armies which I'd sent over there back with like 5 or 6 of their own armies, and when they declared war on me, they pulled the Empire, the Bretonnians, and the Wood Elves in on the war as well. Now, getting the campaign balanced is a very difficult issue, and the game has had problems in the past with various factions rising to extreme prominence during the campaign. There was a time when the vampire counts got really powerful quite often, and they would take over large swaths of the map. A persistent example of this has been the dwarves, where the greenskins sort of pushed the dwarves back at the beginning, but then they lose their steam, and then the dwarves take over and just keep going. You can see in here the dwarves have taken over pretty much all this area here. But all this red here, not this red down here. Actually, yes, this red down here as well. And this red here. This is all the Empire. The Empire is number 1. I had another screenshot. Let me bring this one up, where I had taken off the fog of war, and we can see the extent of the empire, which is encompassing some of the mountains up here. It would help if you could actually see where I'm gesturing with my mouse. This is the Empire, bits of Bretonnia and the Empire over here, there. Parts of Nagaron are Empire. This isn't the Empire, I don't think. I can't actually remember. I think that's Lawmasters. But that, yeah, so the Empire is quite large, and last I checked, they had like 23 armies spread out all over the place. You can see 2 of them over here. There's a bunch of them up in Norska. Most of them are down here attacking me. So I don't know how long it will take for this to get to this point in my Araby campaign, which is kind of the reason why I'm saying it might not go on for too long, because I have some mods in mind, or I have one mod in mind, which is climates and colonies, I think it's called, which makes it so that if a faction other than dwarves takes, say, Karag Dromar here, as well as having a unpleasant, as well as having an uninhabitable climate instead of an unpleasant climate, the faction which takes the region actually gets a -40 diplomatic penalty with the dwarves, because, you know, a faction is squatting in a dwarven Karak, and dwarves don't like that. So, which I'm thinking might help alleviate this, because at the moment, one of these factions would be fine. However, it's the dwarves, the Empire, Bretonia, also the Wood Elves, the High Elves, all allied together against me. And this is like 5 or 6 factions worth of armies coming at me, and I can't deal with that. I'm just not fighting hard enough, obviously, but it is a bit of a problem. So I was hoping maybe by having this mod, it would make things a bit rockier between the dwarves and the Empire, at least so that they might go to war occasionally. Because if the Empire, like they have here, control these areas up here, which are dwarven Karaks, that would get them negative relations with the dwarves, and then the dwarves might go to war to take them back, or at least go to war and disrupt things for the Empire. That could have the unintended side effect of making the dwarves even larger, or the Empire even larger, as one of them envelops the other. But I'm willing to try it. So the campaign might go a bit shorter, depending on how quickly the audible, as I've seen people label it, how long it takes for that to start going. But anyway, we're not at that point yet. We're only at 77 turns in. My campaign was like 170 turns in. And we're seeing some things, like transitioning flawlessly into the game from that discussion. We're seeing, like, I haven't seen this. This is Barrow Legions taking Karak Buftar. That's, what are they doing there? Okay. There's some trolls there. Are they at war with anyone? Just Clubber. Nope. Okay. So yeah, we had Magritta, we had Estalia, and we were in the process of leveling those up. They're making us a nice amount of income, as well as the trade resources. Bretonia's probably going to go to war with me at some point, just because they hate Araby guts. We have also Gotrek and Felix here, which I'd like to send down to help Jafar, but I might not need them because the armies which are here are really not that powerful. So we might be able to deal with them just with Jafar's armies. Either way, we've got them for 24 more turns, and I would like to make use of them. They would be very useful against the Bretonians, just as being a lord with an army. There's this lord here with Tomb Guards and a Screaming Skull Catapult. They're just sitting in the bay there, not doing anything, and I can't defeat them at sea, so it's a stalemate. I kind of want to load up Gotrek with slaves again. They're so cheap. There's Mad Mulletson. He's a problem if we go attacking across the ocean. So I have a lord over here also, who is kind of on his own. Vineyards, do I want to level up that? No, I have to change my mindset because my Arkhan campaign, I'm just chucking money at any problem. And I don't have that luxury in this game. So, they're not at war with us yet. Do we have a non-aggression pact with them?
hunt you down, scum, if your words displease me.
Yeah, sure. If they go to war with us, they'll probably drag in those dwarves. Look at all those Bretonnians I could be trading with if they could just get over their racial hatred towards us.
I bid you welcome, traveler.
Trade? Nope, now is not the time for this.
It is time.
Hey, dwarves!
You may speak before my
Nope.
shield.
There is a mod which makes these Greybeard's Prospectors faction unique, which I might look into, because I'm all for making more factions unique and varied. And it depends whether it would conflict with any of my other mods. I don't think it should. But... okay. There's also been some other mods updated, but I haven't activated them for this.
I'll use me spells.
There's Wurzag. So we can see the Greenskins look like they're in a strong position. They have basically all this. Or, sorry, this is Black Crag now, isn't it? I'll just keep calling them Greenskins. That's what they are. They have pretty much all this. And you'd think maybe they might take out the dwarves. However, the dwarves have this. And I don't know. Perhaps Karazakarak is too strong for the Greenskins to take over. I have seen the Greenskins take Karazakarak. So it can be done. They can be beaten, but as I've said, usually the Greenskins get a large empire or get a large territory and then peter out. I think I've said before, I believe it's because the AI has difficulty with the fightiness mechanic the Greenskins have. When they lose a battle, they lose fightiness and they take attrition. And the way they have to overcome that is by winning battles or by raiding. And I don't think the AI understands that, because I think it sits in its settlements taking attrition until it's got no army. It's kind of a weird mechanic, because it's sort of, unless you're the player, I think the AI finds it difficult to rebound from it, because it means like they get rolling, but then when you stop them, they're just like, and they just disappear. Fail a mission. Okay, start raiding their territory. Get some money from that. Got trick. I don't know. I can't recruit a wizard there. Actually, I do have a wizard, don't I? Do I? I do. I've got a beast wizard somewhere, don't I? Yeah, there he is. Jocked. Okay. So there's Karazakarak. Got a pretty good garrison, but nothing major. It's only level 3. Azag's poised to possibly take it. He has a stack of 17. Are they going to deal with the dwarves? That would be nice, actually, having armies of greenskins rather than armies of dwarves. I mean, it was fun as Arkhan fighting against the dwarves, because death magic and the purple sun of Zeros is very effective against massed dwarves. Purple sun of Zeros being this spell. A colossal orb, not herb, of purple edge darkness materializes. Those who do not escape its crystalline touch are doomed for eternity. Yeah, it's like a mini black hole moving around a battlefield. It's rather good against. It's good against armor, which is why it's useful against dwarves. Though dwarves have innate magic resistance. It's not as devastating as a Lore of Vampires spell, Wind of Death, which is... if they haven't changed it, overcasting the Wind of Death spell is truly a sight to behold against massed infantry. It just mulches them. Because usually, we've seen with like the Flaming Skull, it does kill units, but it tends to deal a lot more damage without killing units. But the Wind of Death just annihilates things when it flies over them. They just die. It's just a red splat as it passes over them. I wish the game had different effects for units being killed by different spells and effects. So if they were actually killed by a fireball, they would burn, but sadly it's not a thing. Okay, also sieging this will stop them from being able to recruit units outside of the settlement. Hey, it's Arkhan! He has an aspect of the Dread Knight, Spirit Leech. Also this, the Liber Mortis, which is a very nice ability. X-Wraiths, yeah. Necropolis Knights, or Snake Surfers. I never liked the model for them, they just look goofy. Don't mind me if I say things like that. Opinions of the tabletop models. Can we ally with you?
I smash your face in!
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Throg. Nope. What else do you say?
The world is meat for my grinder. You first!
Okay. Anything else?
Don't care who you are! I smash your face in!
He is a brilliant diplomat. No, he absolutely hates us. In every way possible. Interesting. Oh, it's all about treaties, right. And just minus 40 aversion. We could reverse that with our skills. How much would that give, actually? I've forgotten. Conspirator of Evil. Plus 60. And we can get that on our lords. Machinator goes up to 25. Gives him a regeneration and spreads corruption. Interesting, interesting. It'd be neat if you had an ability where you could, like, if you went to level 3 for Conspirator of Evil. I don't think you can do this in the game, but it would be nice if when you got level 3, you actually got a building or unlocked a research, which meant you took reduced attrition from chaos corruption or something to represent that you're sort of aligning yourself with chaos more, but I don't think that's possible. Okay, in turn. Now, why do you move jocked? Maybe the greenskins... I was going to say, maybe the greenskins are having an easier of time now from the last patch, but then I remembered my Arkhan campaign. There was things changed, which should help the greenskins. For a lot of factions, their basic units, like the greenskins, goblin spearmen, and possibly archers, were made available from their basic settlement building, rather than, oh, we're fighting in a little valley, rather than having to have a barracks to recruit them, which means that even if they have a settlement, they can still recruit units, which is designed, I suppose, in part also to help with enemy army unit variety. Because it's always been kind of a thing that you'll occasionally see an AI army running around and it'll be like, one lord, and then the rest of the army is like catapults. Just because they have the building which recruits catapults and nothing else. So they're like, well, I'm just gonna recruit what I can. Catapults, catapults. They've been making, Creative Assembly have been making progress in that. I don't think you see it as much. I certainly don't see armies of like steam tanks and that. I like having the weaker units in the armies. I think there is another mod which limits unit recruitment to like set amounts based on how rare they're supposed to be. In the tabletop, there used to be a mechanic where if a unit, depending on the type of the unit, say, oh, what was it for? What was the types? There was rare, elite, special, and standard or base. And depending on the type of the unit, you were allowed so many of those units. For Skaven, they didn't have any elites because Skaven aren't an elite army, but if they had... It was like for every Skaven clan rat unit, you were allowed a unit of slaves, but your slaves could never outnumber the amount of clan rats you had. And then it was like, based on how many points the battle was, you could have more specials. So if you're playing a 1,000-point game, you could have maybe 1 or 2 special units, and maybe 1 rare. If you're playing 2,000, you could have 4 specials and then 2 rares in your army list. It meant that you didn't see armies made up of like steam tanks, because those are rare, and you wouldn't see an army of steam tanks, so you had to fill out your army with the basic troops, which is what I do when I play. That's, you know. I think there was also a Lord and a Hero cap as well. I don't know whether that was a thing in the later editions of Warhammer Fantasy Battles. I feel like it was, but for some reason I think it might have been phased out. I'm not too sure. Anyway. Old tabletop nonsense. I think they implemented something like that for the multiplayer. Speaking of Warhammer Total War again. Where multiplayer battles have a limited number of units they can recruit for different types. Might have been for Regiments of Renown. Something like that. But then they might have lifted it again, because I remember seeing someone have a screenshot of a battle with one Heinrich Kemmler as their lord, and then the rest of their army was just Krells. A large axe-bearing skeleton undead champion of chaos, which Heinrich Kemmler has under his control. Okay. Move back. We're getting it flanked by snakes. Okay, what types of snakes are they? I'll have a look at them actually. Let's see. Necropolis Knights. The snake is cool. The skeleton on top's cool. Together, I just don't like the look of them. Snake Surfers. Ah, it's just like, I don't know. They're undead. They could have done something a bit better with them rather than just having them standing on top. Whatever. Ushabti. One of the coolest units in the game. Also on the tabletop. I might have mentioned this. I really like the look of them. The one I have though has a big two-handed glaive rather than the 2 blades there. Chariots. Direwolves. Because Arkhan had some Vampire Counts units. More Ushabti. Hex Race. Armor-piercing ghostly units. Skeletons. More skeletons. Nehekaran Warriors. These are anti-infantry units. Or damage-dealing units with 2 swords. Those are some archers back there, I think. Yep. Some more Nehekaran Warriors. There's Arkhan. There's just one skeleton, all on his own. There's a Necrotect, which I don't think we've seen. Oh, their whip's glowing now. Interesting. Necrotects are They're a healer buffer unit, but specifically for the constructs. So like Ushabti and the Necropolis Knights. When they're nearby the construct units, they give them bonuses. Not the skeletal units, though. Just like Ushabti, as I said, the Necropolis Knights, Kemrian War Sphinx, Necro Sphinx, and other types of sphinxes. So these Necropolis Knights also come in an anti-large variant, but these aren't anti-large. These are just armor piercing and poison damage. Oh my... what's it called? Yeah, do that. X-Rays are armor piercing, however they're also ethereal, which means that they have lower health because they have high physical resistance. So to make up for that, they have low hit points. And they don't have much resistance to magic or fire, so casting like Burning Blade on your units is a good way of dealing with them. Arkhan! Oh, snakies are coming from behind! I laugh at them and that's what they do to you. No, not Sigma. Where is it? There it is. Fire Jin! And guess what? Big snake! Rah. And their front line collapses. That.
Ready to smite.
Whoop.
Ready for war.
Oh, they summoned Ushabti.
The winds grow hot.
Do I have Fate of Buna? No, I do not. I don't have enough money for Doom and Darkness. Enough mana for Doom and Darkness. Did I say money? Mana money! The big puff which went off there is a curse ability which Arkhan has. Every Lord of the Tomb Kings has it. Usually it's like when they get low on health they have an aura which goes off which deals damage to everything around them. You know. You dare attack me? Feel my curse. Blag. I was casting a fireball. Don't knock me over.
I channel fire.
Pew.
Fireball. The winds glow hot. The empire endures. Quick march.
Arkhan dead.
Warrior priest.
Arkhan is not dead. He's been pushed all the way over there. I think we have one though. As these Ushabti are carving through my units. Yep, there we go. Arkhan's dead. The rest of the army collapses. My units take a bit of damage from the curse ability from that other lord. There's actually different curses. Arkhan has Vengeance, I think it is, or Vengeful for his curse. Lich Priests have another one which actually reduces armor of units nearby but they can only use it when I think their hit points get below 50%. And you have to cast it yourself, it's not an automatic thing. Tomb Princes have something else as well. But I forget what it is. Actually, I think I remember. It, does it lower melee defense of units and causes rampage? I think it does. I think it does. So they need abilities. I like that they have them. It's a little bit more you know, flavor towards their characters rather than just being lords and all that. Loot and occupy. That's a nice amount of money. You're going to attack us because you have no choice since you have no settlements now. What are you doing? Go away, Throg. Why are you over there? I don't like you here. Why are you coming all the way down here? Is it because of your territory over here? I think you have parts of the Badlands because you confederated with the Norscan faction, which starts down in the Badlands. I think there's a faction of... what are they called? Famia, which you can play as, which starts down there.
Amber Wizard, onwards.
Okay, Greenskins, how are you going? Azag! Morglaw Teeth Robber.
I'm special.
Giblet Blood Reaper.
War boss, Innie.
And Icky. So you're just attacking there. That's fine, we can deal with you. Dead! Execute. We could have pardoned them actually, just for 250 gold. And there we go. What do I want from you? Get Scorpion Carapace armor, that's pretty cool. It is said that armor fashioned for the carapace of the Dune Scorpion is stronger and lighter than any metal variety. I feel like having metal variant would be a bit better there. Armor plus 15, speed plus 10%, physical resistance 5%, ward save 5%, and perfect vigor. That's nice. He gets a griffin too. Pretty cool. Immortality! Yay! We won't be losing our wizard. And we have the Wizard Caliph's Palace. I should still build that to see whether it does anything. How's this province going? Corruption's not a problem. Public order's going to be a cinch. Repair that. Ooh, we have a Beastmaster's hut. Build fields. Because I want to level this place up quickly. And we don't have anything which increases growth, so just do public order. Oh, we have only a limited unit capacity for Promethean hatchlings. We have a number of limitations on our better units as well. Only one for the Basilic Bombard. 6 for those, 5 for those, 6 of those. None of the Ifrits. Yeah, okay. I want that Bombard. Okay, oh, we have a nice amount of money now. Oh, so freeing. Increase the salt. Upgrade the salt works. The salt must flow. Oh no, that's not Throg, that's Clubber. Wait. Wintertooth. Why are the Eye of the Panther now green-skinned rebels? Did something happen? Botello, Nordland, Lorelon Forest, Clubber, Military alliance negotiated. Yeah, great. So they're going to fight me both at the same time now. No? Something happened up here? Oh, I was thinking... Did that region just rebel, or did Snitch have a hand in that?
Send me a champion.
Okay. In turn. So we're gonna have to deal with Thegan's Errantry and the Araby's Prospectors. The dwarves shouldn't be too much of a problem. We're more maneuverable. We have heavy cavalry. We have elephants. And monstrous units which are good against their infantry. Dwarves are good at taking a charge. However, they can't really deal that much damage. They do it with their artillery, but not really with their infantry. Their infantry are more just outlast the enemy. Unless they have their, like, thunderers and so on. Thick Skullson and Drong Grimbrow. What have you got? Actually, you. I want you. You've got Benediction. Get Stimulate Growth.
Step to it.
So, what have they got? Dwarf Warriors. Dwarf Warriors. Pfft. Basically nothing. Making a pottery. Get slave traders. Go over there. In camp. Actually, you can just go back into the army, can't you? There we go. I could get you some better units in your army, actually. Oh, my monies. Oh, you're heading back now. Okay. Might have been going down to here, but then since it rebelled, he's just going off again because it's like, well, that's not my problem anymore. Go over here, see Martek. How's it look? Peasants! No extra walls in there, though. I didn't move you again. Oh well. I was thinking dealing with all those men-at-arms and peasants with all my slave units reminds me of one time I was playing as the Empire and I was fighting against the Skaven. And the Skaven settlements are a pain to get rid of because of their warp bombs. I think I've mentioned that. So rather than risking all of my expensive units, I made armies of flagellants, which are unbreakable infantry-focused, anti-infantry focused units, and I just swarmed the Skaven with swarms of doom-seeking flagellants, which was rather effective. They don't break, so they just keep going. And outnumbered the Skaven with just people. The Forgotten Speech. In a speech given when Emperor Luitpold still held the throne, Franz was heard to say how much he dislikes this region. It is a speech that has come back to haunt him, for the residents here certainly haven't forgotten his words. Diplomatic relations -5 with the Golden Order. Okay, that shouldn't really be affecting us, since we're not playing as the Empire, but whatever. Oh! Also, people might... people who are eagle-eyed might have noticed this, and I forgot to mention it. For the last few episodes, we have been having all the desert regions as being unpleasant. You may notice now that the suitable climate, the mod got updated, and I will clarify here, this was not an issue with the OVN's Forgotten Factions or Lost Factions mod. This is because I was playing with the Kataf's Southern Realms mod, which adds in Tylia, Tabaro, Estalia, Border Princes as their own factions, and it might be because Araby is based on them, or no, the mod, I think what the problem was is that with Kataf's Southern Realms mod, or these Empires mod, it changes the suitable climates for the Empire factions to have desert as an unpleasant environment. So the mod author for OVN has since added the desert as a suitable climate, even though without Kataf's Kataf's mod, which adds these factions, there would be no problem. Araby would have suitable climate for deserts. With this mod, it now has suitable climates if you're playing with both mods at the same time. So that is nice, and I understand it wasn't Shaky Rivers, I believe is the mod author's name or handle they go by, for OVN's Lost Factions mod. I understand it wasn't his problem, but it's nice that he's addressed the little issue there. And I'm sorry if I misconstrued the issue there in the past. So we're actually having an easier time now. Public order is easier, and we're making more income from our provinces, and settlements should take a lot less time to build. So things are actually easier for us now than they were before, and I don't have to worry about just having Magritta as the only pleasant, suitable climate. So what do I want to do with you? I want some Promethean hatchlings. Let's get 2 units of Promethean hatchlings, because they'll be useful against these dwarves. Yeah, look at their armies. Dwarf warriors, miners. Dwarf warriors, minor. Their garrison's stronger. It's got a Thane, Longbeards with great weapons, Longbeards, 2 units of Thunderers, and 2 units of Quarrelers. But again, that's not that bad. They don't have any cannons. Virus. I am going to build... Do I need a smith here? Adventurers, Montante swordsmen, halberdiers. I don't think I do. It'll probably give me the recruit rank bonus and global recruitment bonus, but I don't think I need it. We don't need it for our cavalry. I might just ignore it. We might build the caravan stop here so that I can get some cavalry. Do we have that down here? Nope. Okay, when we have enough gold, I'll build the caravan stop so we can get our light cavalry going. Rahotep. And you continue marching up there. You've already moved, so we'll end turn. Wah! Greenskin Wah! That Black Crag has spawned a Wah. One of their armies have gotten enough fightiness to spawn a secondary army next to them, which will follow them around, or possibly just suicide against the nearest enemy settlement. Paravon and Coron have negotiated peace. That's right! Last time they Bretonia had a civil war going on. Oh, kind of hoped that they would beat it out amongst themselves. What was that? Oh, Skaven Blight's been raised. Who did that? So much for Icket Claw. This. Alright. Do I want to build walls here? I kind of do. Just so that... Actually, no, the walls don't give us a garrison. No, they just improve the walls. They just improve the towers. Our main province... Our main building line. Settlement building improves our garrison. Okay, get caravan, stop. Might be nice if that had a bonus to your trade. Not that we really need it. Just from the name. It's easy to toss out ideas. I have no idea whether they would be reasonable or not. Get Fervent level 2 because Skaven Corruption is... Actually, with the loss of Skaven Blight, Skaven Corruption is going to disappear. Hello, it's Count Noctilus. And he's a ship. Which is... Yes, his ship is a massive mountain with a castle on top. The size of this thing is pretty freaking huge.
Galleon's graveyard only offers death to your kind.
You don't like us. Oh. You're trading with the dwarves, so you're probably not going to like me going to war with them. Well, you might just leave them alone to get dragged into a war. Oh, Camry! You actually don't mind us too much. Oh, because we've been beating up followers in the gash.
Tribute do you offer the great king of Mehekala?
Military access? A well-made offer is pleasing to the ears of men and gods. Well, it's a start. Okay, end turn. Dread Fleet, I hope you don't attack me. Though I don't see the Dread Fleet be that active. Usually they attack Ulthuan a bit, which is nice to see. But, I don't know. I suppose they lose their armies against enemy fleets. Dread Fleet are located in the Galleon's Graveyard, which is a one province region in the middle of the ocean here. Which is powerful and it's difficult to take. But now you've got a military alliance with Thegan's Errantry. That makes it difficult for me, because if I attack you down here, they're going to attack me up here. There we go. Get that. How many turns will I have? Do I want to wait one turn and then attack the second turn? Or should I just attack now? How's that going to affect us? If I attack now, we won't have time to recruit those things. I'm going to hold off one turn and attack them next turn. That means that Thegan's Errantry, if they move their armies, will have one turn to get to us and then another turn to attack us. And we'll be able to get our Bombard and our Ifrits rather than just attacking now, and the 2 turns they'll be able to go across the desert, then siege us, and we won't be able to recruit them. Greenskins are moving up here. Good, I like to see it. Hang on. Hang on. I think the Greenskins might have taken Karak. Looks like it on the map. I'll have to have a look. Well done. It's odd cheering for the Greenskins over the Dwarves, but... Oh no, they haven't. They're sieging it though. Grimgore. Let's go have a look. Oh no, I know I just moved you up there, but... We're gonna have hordes of Greenskins coming down here. I think I've said that before, and it's turned out not to be the case. Okay. Declare war. Yep. By Grimnir's axe, you'll rue the day of this outrage. Attack that army. Boink. Lower leadership. We're attacking Drong Grimbrow with Thick Skolson as reinforcements and Aldin Asgal, a settlement garrison in Vulture Mountains. What's the map look like? It's a crossing. Well, have a benefit for that? I think magic. It's pretty powerful. It is effective for the dwarves, but they lack ranged. They have very little, so we would just be able to smash through their lines with our monsters and elephants and... Not really our infantry, but, you know, our spells will be able to do good. You have the power of giant snake Jinn and fire Jinn. Or... No, is it a fire Jinn? I think it's fire Jinn. Ooh! That looks different. That's very red desert. I feel this is a bit wrong. Let me think. It's got lizardmen buildings around the place. The desert is red. I think this map's supposed to be in Nagarond. Looks interesting. I don't think I've seen it before. Oh well. So your dwarf warriors are lined up there. You have no ranged. So you go over there. You can go over there with them. Oh, did I lose a unit of archers? I did, because the Ushabti chopped them up into a fine mince. Elephants. Prometheans. Argul Bargulf. We lost our Jazales too. I'm gonna have to recruit those back sometime. Okay. Charge! Are they coming across to meet me? No, they're just setting up. No, are they? What are you dwarves doing? Let's have a look at them. I like the look of them. I like their white shields and armor. It looks nice for them. Yeah, actually, it looks like they're coming to attack me. Oh, you silly dwarves. You set up there. Just charge them. They're all out of position and they're not going to be able to hold against us too well. Firestorm? Nah, not really worth it. Don't shoot. Punt. Oh, I didn't. I had my cavalry in that unit. You can move back. Dwarves, very sturdy creatures, fond of drink and industry, and but not able to stand up against the power of several thousand pounds of enraged pachyderm. They're just stepping on them. Squish. Punt. Splat. They're like blood bags. Go, crabbies! Snip, snip. Where's those elephants? There they are. Splat. Attack these ones. Charge! Splat. There was dwarves there. It didn't last long. Splat. Meaty chunks. This is where you need the overvoice for Dawn of War over the top of it, saying things like, "Ah, my spleen!" Okay. Oh, that looks nice. Hold it right there. Oh, we don't have the purple sun. No. Don't have overcast of this. Ah, it sucks. Zoom. It didn't do as much. Well, actually it did. Did a fair amount. Charge! No, they're still holding up there. These dwarf warriors are very stubborn. States the obvious. Okay, lower their armor and all that business. Some of the fire gin. Flee! Yee. Yeah, give everyone flaming weapons. Dwarves have resistance to magic, but they don't have resistance to fire.
Bright wizard! Aquipsec!
Oh, they're shooting my elephants.
Yes, quickly!
Bam! Dwarves have good charge defense, but if they're not in a position to receive the charge, then the
Yes, General!
charge defense doesn't mean much. Bit of shades. Choop. I hadn't noticed it before. I like how that spell actually cuts out all of the sound when it's cast. It's just like suddenly it's for a very brief amount of time it's all quiet. Better not kill my elephants. Oh, you've killed one of my elephants. Oh, you're still dealing with the Bam, 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 bam. And their army breaks. That was satisfying. A lot of good magic going off there. Our elephant survived too. Barely. Those thunderers, I should have dealt with them earlier. If we had more scout cavalry or light cavalry, I would have been able to deal with them better, but... Splat. Slice. Chase down the stunted ones. Splat. Ooh. Okay. Right. Well. Ugh, our cavalry is so slow. Cataphracts are great, but telling them to charge after even dwarves is 446 kills on the elephants. 98 on the cataphracts. 13, 48, 50 on the Promethean hatchlings. Not as much as I thought they would. I mean, 50 is pretty good. Considering they have the same stats as rotting Prometheans. I was looking at them and it did seem like they weren't attacking as often as you'd think they would. But I haven't looked at them multiple times, so maybe it was just I was looking at some rather inactive ones. They did good. The pit fighters, 103. Is that because they have the razor standard or just because of how they are normally? And not much for the archers. I wouldn't really expect it. The dwarves are too heavily armoured to really be bothered by a few arrows. Certainly not from the front with their shields. Okay, execute captives. There we go. Get that. Ooh, get immortality. You get... Sure, get the Imperial Pegasus. You're now flying. That might be cool. It might be nice if they, instead of getting the Imperial Pegasus, they got like a flaming steed. Similar to the Hex Wraith, but with just a fiery effect on it. Since you can't give them like a flying carpet. Get the Purple Sun of Zeros. What's this? Troll. Orcs. That's actually easier to deal with than trolls. Get Sultan's Racetrack. Actually, no, that's basically all of my income. All of my money. Are you going? 45. I don't know at what point they tend to declare war on you. Upgrade it to level 3. That way at least it will have the strongest garrison it can. So it won't have walls. Get the slave market. They shouldn't move from there, he says. Because they're rebels, they are very inactive. The rebel factions are more there just to occupy the settlement. They're not there to expand their own empire. There is the Karak 8 Peaks mutinous Gits, which are kind of a rebel faction, but I have seen those ones expand an armies, an empire sometimes, but as I said, they're not really rebels. Yeah. Or it's a Crooked Moon mutinous Gits. That might be it. They're located in Karaza Karak, which is no, Karak 8 Peaks, which is over here somewhere. Yep. Our hike, coast of Araby, raiding.
I must keep my holy vow.
To be expected. We have you for 15 more turns. Bunch of peasants. Get Tuareg Raiders. Their Bloodhowl will be nice against the peasantry. Get and you actually head across the border and recruit some Arabian Corsairs. Do I want to attack now? We have battering ram. They have walls. But barely any infantry because they're badly injured. Sure. If I order resolve, will I lose anything or lose anything of value? Corsairs. I can replace those. Loot and occupy. Okay, get that. Royal Barracks. What's it called? Yeah, Royal Palace Barracks. Get the tap room. Get the walls. You can get Flame Storm, level 3. You can get... What level are you? 19. Get Purple Sun of Zeros, level 2. We can upgrade Lashik, since it's close by. And all that money we had, 10,000, is now gone. Okay, end turn. In a few short turns, we've actually become quite a lot more powerful than we were before. Having a suitable climate certainly helps. We have the money to throw around for armies now. Yeah. Excuse me. The Mootland's still around. Good to see.
I am ready to parley.
Oh, hello.
Keep your words wise.
What do you want? You're one of our good friends. You want me to join the war against Cladscryer. Can I get anything from you in return with that? Military alliance? Yes! We shall work together! Oh, also. You might have seen there. I think his name's Valric Gulsa? The leader of the Border Princes here. He has a new appearance. Before he had a weird sort of long hair on the top, shaved along the sides. But he has a new model now, which was a recent update to Kataf's Southern Realm mod, which is nice. I'd actually forgotten about that. Previously in the legendary Lord lineup in the campaign menu, his portrait was replaced with that masterful restoration work of the Jesus Christ painting. Oh Cataf. I do like it when he replaces, say, Balthasar Gelt's portrait with Gelt and a massive winning smile. Okay, get rid of him. Execute. And Greybeard's Prospectors are no more. Ooh, what do we get? Because we've got level 3 barracks here. Mukhtarin Champions. Sword Infantry, shielded and armoured. They're unbreakable. Oh right, that's the Regiment of Renown for the Jaguar Warriors. Yeah. Or Jaguar Champions. What do they got? 10% ward save, unbreakable, blood howl, and death blow. Man, that's good. What's these? Palace Guard, anti-large, spear infantry, shielded. Yeah, bonus versus large is 23. Physical resistance 5, magic resistance 5, charge defense versus large, they're nice too. Dervishes are nice as well. Mad Mullah Akland's Death Jazales. Blood howl, sure. Blinded and armor piercing on their shots. Oh, we get field trebuchets as well. And ballista. Oh, I'm going to get some of those. Get a field trebuchet. And get... Get another unit of Jaguar Warriors. They got shields and swords. So they're not specifically anti-infantry. I might want to get something a bit more anti-infantry focused. How about anti-large? Those take 3 turns to recruit though. I don't want my army to be sitting around for 3 turns. I need them elsewhere. That's the big problem with multiple turn recruitments for units. It's a big problem for the beastmen, or it was. I'll get the Palace Guard, sure. Because the beastmen's best unit, best infantry, the Bestigor, heavily armored Gauls with great axes or great swords. They took 3 turns to recruit, and as the beastman, you just can't sit around for 3 turns recruiting a unit. You need to keep moving because you're always losing money. Armies are chasing you down.
Do you take me for a
So can't really afford to just sit there and go recruit an army for 3 turns. Especially just because even if you're hidden while you're recruiting, it just means enemy armies are going to be sitting around waiting for you to reappear. Or are going to be hovering around nearby. Get that. Get Desert Wind. Yep. Okay, do we have any other research? Nope. Enter. We might go for another 20 minutes. I'd rather like to possibly get rid of Thegan's Errantry down here before we end for tonight. Confederation, Wintertooth, and Chaos Warp Defilers. They can confederate, but they're 2 different factions. Wintertooth is Norska, and Chaos Warp Defilers are Warriors of Chaos. I don't understand that. Unless the Chaos Warp Defilers as a base use Norskans, but their symbol is still the Warriors of Chaos. I don't know. Raiding in El Hike. Be a war with Black Crag. A green war. Also, War declared. Kothic versus Clan Septic, Cult of Pleasure, Clan Rictus, and Nagarond. We've encountered the Mootland. Where are they? There they are. Wait, look at that. Mootland have Swartzhuffen, but they've lost Isashut. Well, the halflings are elsewhere. Wait. Why does Samwise Warfoot have the white cloak of Uruk? That's an artifact which Boris Todbring is supposed to have. Did he nick it off his back? Very appropriate for the halflings to have that. I mean, you know, with their sticky fingers and all that. Oh, they own Fort Oberstyre as well. Pardon me. The Mootland is owning at least 2 provinces. Well done. Ah yes, you can also see one of the new buildings here. The Pie Shop. They've had a number of changes since we ended our Halflings campaign. They actually get the Shrine of Sigmar, which allows you to control Chaos Corruption, which I believe was mentioned they were supposed to have, but due to an error it wasn't showing up. So, it's much appreciated. I'm gonna have to do a short video covering their changes. I don't really want. Get Bedouin Scouts. Can we build anything else anywhere else? Nope. I don't know why you wanted me to go to war against Clan Scryer. Unless they're up here, they're basically nowhere else. You're not at war with the Barrow Legion, but I have to assume you're going to be at some point because they're causing all this nasty corruption in your territory. Hey, do you want a defensive alliance? You do!
Yes?
Tabaro!
What could you
Do you want a
possibly have
non-aggression
to offer
pact?
me?
Military access! If I make friends with them now, perhaps they will come to my aid when Bretonia turns on me.
Fallen men.
Greetings, stranger.
Yeah, I say when Bretonia turns on me. I'm seeing them as permanent
Know of my
potential
plans,
enemies.
and
Wait, let me have a look at diplomacy, because we haven't looked at it for a while.
Champion,
Bretonia!
you are a guest in my
No,
realm.
you hate me. Pointless. Also because I'm attacking Thegan's Errantry. Clan Angrund!
Long have I fought and suffered.
Non-aggression
for my
pact?
great
Nope.
bastards.
Caressa Karak.
Ask your favour, and I will check with the Demas Crom that you owe.
I don't know why we're deteriorating. We've only got 1 negative. Whatever. Hey, greenskins.
Ready. You dare approach me.
Yeah, sure. Well, we can't trade with Safari anymore. They must have lost a port.
Alariel, I am Tyrion, champion.
Hey, non-aggression pact?
Never.
Nah. You're fine with trading, though. Hey, Tlakwa. Yeah, you don't like that I went to war with Greybeard's Prospectors, or with Thegan's Errantry. Did I get a trade agreement? Never! I want a trade agreement with you. The old ones approve. I'm actually rather surprised you accepted that.
What?
Hey, Nordland.
Approach us, friend.
Trade agreement?
I will not.
Nope.
obey.
Reichland.
I will hear what you have to
Non-aggression
say.
pact.
No!
No! No! Jeez, just a simple no would have... Can I offer you a bit of gold to lubricate the transaction?
Never!
No! We will stand on our own. Diplomacy is just people shouting no at you constantly. Ah. Tic-tac-toe? Really? Yes. Really. The lizardmen names are varying between interesting. It's like Mazdamundi or Krokgar with his Mount Grimlock. There's Nakai the Wanderer, Gorok, the Great White Lizard, Tic-Tac-Toe, who is the airborne sort of scout.
Proposal? We are willing to hear it.
Oh, what else is there? There's oh, what's the proselytizing one for Sotek? Tehenuin, which I think is also seen as 10 in 1. There's also, I believe there's another character called Teeny Weeny. So yeah. What are you waiting for? The end times? You want to join the Pirates of Sartosa? No, not right now. Yeah. There's a lot of punny names amongst Lustria. I believe a lot of the lizardmen names in the game are actually Dutch originally. Or they're like, apparently someone who's Dutch on the team has made a lot of punny names on it, but I do not speak Dutch, so I wouldn't be able to translate them. I think it's Dutch. What else? There's a place in Lustria called the Guacamole Crater, so it's very silly. Lustria is a silly place. It didn't really factor into the greater lore for Warhammer, so a lot of the names I would assume are quite old and they never really got updated away from the early sort of slightly silly realm of Warhammer. Which I kind of miss in a way, but what other lizardmen characters are there? The biggest, most powerful Slann, who is currently dead and is a mummified corpse, is a first-generation Slann who was able to basically single-handedly stop a infinite spawn of demons from invading the Warhammer world. Though he did die in the process, and then he thought, I'm not gonna die, and he just came back alive. Or he didn't come back alive. He died, and then he's like, I'm not done yet, so his soul just inhabited his body. He's called Lord Croak. So, a very, very important character is just called Lord Croak, because the Slann look like giant toads or frogs, you see.
I am ready to parley. I hope your words are wise.
Oh, not yet. I mean, laugh at his name, you know. He was able to basically nuke all the demons in a lizardman city all at once. Does Tic-Tac-Toe actually have him? They can summon him as a hero, and he has one ability. We can actually see him up here. There's Lord Croak. The back of him. He's got a big throne he's sitting on. But that's his spirit up there. And this is his ability. He summons mini suns which explode and just demolish units. Deliverance of Itza. Level 1, level 2, and then level 3. It just gets bigger and bigger. I don't know if it's got a different video for each. Yeah, it does. It's just a bigger sun. Boom! It's fun to play with. I think Gorok starts with him normally. Okay, we're going to go deal with those greenskins. What do they got in their army? Ugrok, Ashnor, Black Orcs, Orc Biggin, Savage Orcs, Night Goblin Fanatics, Night Goblins with Fanatics, Orc Boys, Arrow Boys, Night Goblin Archers, Ball Boy Biggins, Spider Riders, Wolf Chariot, and Doom Diver Catapult. Okay. You two team up. Just be near each other. And I might recruit a little bit more army. If they'll let me. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. See, the dwarves managed to fight off the greenskin army, sieging Karak. This might be the turning point. As I've said, I have seen the greenskins take Karak. There's actually, I'm just looking at it at the moment, I just remembered, there's actually quite a few silly names amongst Warhammer Fantasy. You can see one of the Bretonnian factions here is called Bordello, which is, no, a bedroom. Is it? No, that's boudoir. Bordello is just like a, what's it called? Like a brothel. What else? I think a number of the German names are very... the Empire's names are very, sort of simple. Can't remember though. Schwarzhafen. Schwarz is black. Hafen... Forest, maybe? Anyway. You can get Cascading Fire Cloak level 2. We can attack the Eye of the Panther. I don't think they'll have a garrison there. Nope. Let's actually fight this. We'll see the greenskins. Before we remove them completely from this area. Also, I'll probably end up with less casualties if I field it, if I play it myself. Also, we got a bunch of new units and I would like to have a look at them. Also, we can have a look at the greenskin army. I don't know whether we've seen a greenskin army. We did in my Kislev campaign. Might have seen some in our Halfling campaign, but I can't remember what their unit composition was. We might not have seen a Doom Diver catapult. Okay, well, I was praising the game for having the sand off of the trees, but it seems like it's still a problem on some maps. This is what I meant. The trees have this sort of sand dusting on top of them, which doesn't look very nice. I believe it's because the sand's using a snow effect. Or that would be my guess. Because it's a similar effect to how in previous Total War games snow appears on the trees. Okay, you go there, you two go there. No, we don't have one. Okay, Sartosan... Oh, Arabian Corsairs, you go there. Pit Fighters, you go over there. You're really good, you guys. Palace Guard. You can go there. Southlanders. Go there. Both the Southlanders and the Palace Guard are in a spread out formation. I'd have expected the Palace Guard to be in a tight formation, or in a ranked formation rather than being scattered out like that, but... Okay, let's have a look at them. Oh, we have our Bright Wizard on his Empire Pegasus. It's very nice. There's the Southlanders. Swords, spears. We've seen those. Here's the Palace Guard. Okay, they look a bit more heavily armoured. They have nice robes. I like the patterns on the robes. He's being eaten by a crab. They have Tomb King's swords, Tomb King's halberds, and the Tomb Guard shield. Or is that the Tomb King's guard? Tomb King's shield. It looks like a Tomb King's shield, how big it is. And these, some of them have these smaller shields. They also have fur cloaks, which is quite nice. Yeah, they look pretty good. What else was there? These ones, the Mukhtaran champions. I don't know whether this is what the Jaguar warriors will look like. Jaguar champions will look like normally, but yep. I've got leopard skins on them, all right, and on their shields. They look good. I like them. Their unified look works well for them. Maybe the Palace Guard looked a bit more unified in their appearance. I feel like, I don't know. These guys are in rank. These guys aren't. I feel like the elite units should be in ranks. Same with these, especially since I have halberds, because using halberds and spears, I would think, would be more effective in a formation. Also, it says that they're spear infantry, but they're armed with halberds. Yeah, anyway. Picky. Oh, and the field trebuchet. Yep, they've got like peasants arming the field trebuchet, which was stolen from the Bretonnians. That's fine. We'll be fighting a lot of Bretonnians. The trebuchet is so dinky looking compared to the compared to like the proper thing in the historical Total War games. Okay, you go over there. Oh right, we can have a look at the here's a Doom Diver catapult. It's essentially a large slingshot, and one of these unlucky, or lucky, depending on your view of it, goblins get strapped in with a pair of leather wings, and they get shot up into the air. And it was originally designed for reconnaissance, except the goblins couldn't come back to tell what they had seen. They just splattered into the ground, so they decided to use it to harass enemies by launching goblins towards them and just watching them splat into the enemy ranks. Surprisingly effective. Black orcs. Heavily armoured orcs, no nonsense. Very mean, big axes, very thick armour. I usually play with a mod which adds 2 variants of them, but I don't have it active at the moment. Orc Biggins. They're bigger orcs and they have 2-handed weapons. Araboys, orcs with bows. Savage orcs. Orcs wearing basically nothing, except some tattoos which make them resistant to magic and physical damage. War boys, Biggins, I believe they were. They're sitting on boars, and they have spears. They're anti-large too. Spiders! Rather heavily armoured. Forest goblins also. Okay, ooh, there's the night goblins too. We didn't see those. The night goblins are very sneaky. They're difficult to see until you're really close to them. Luckily we didn't... No, those do have the... those are the fanatics ones. That's probably why they took so much damage. Night goblins have fanatics, which is a night goblin hopped up on shrooms, and it's given a giant metal ball to spin around with and deal damage to the enemy until he inevitably trips up and splats himself with his own giant metal ball. The greenskins are a very silly race. Okay, cast a fireball towards them. Ow! Is it gonna hit that rock? That was a great shot into that rock. I was impressed. Maybe I hit something with that. Ah, wasn't too bad. Hit them, hit the Black Orcs. Ooh, anti-infantry, anti-armor. No, you're not. You go after the Black Orcs. Get there. Elephants! Charge the big uns. Hit him with a fireball. Being on a Pegasus also makes it much easier for my Bright Wizard to chuck fireballs at people. Hey! Spiders! The bombardment spell from the what's it called? From the warrior priest there doesn't hurt my guys. So I can cast it on directly on top of my own guys and not worry about them. Chuck another fireball at the general. Don't really have enough ranged. My goblin archers! Here comes the cataphracts. Charge! Goblins are weak. Night goblins do have poison on their attacks, but they can't stand to a charge against cavalry. We're just running them over. Okay, hop out of there. We didn't kill too many, we just knocked them around, really. And there we go. Can you catch them? 35 speed, 62. You should be able to. Actually, get the Black Orcs. Ah, Urukai. Pretty much. The Black Orcs are kind of Urukai? Yeah, they're more business-like than the basic Orcs. They're not prone to infighting like the average greenskin is. So yeah, they are like Urukai in that regard. Also more military. Though they're not spawned from like men, as the Urukai were, I believe, in Lord of the Rings. Though they were bred by Chaos Dwarves to be an obedient slave, but it didn't work out too well. Turns out giving the normally normally very infighty greenskins actual focus and, you know, an ability to command and lead with a focused mind wasn't a good idea, and they rebelled against the Chaos Dwarves and led a rebellion. Spawned from mud. Did the movies actually explain all that too well? Can't remember. You just see them like spawning from those mud sacks. It's like, oh, that's where the Urukai come from. Can't remember. Yeah. I think that whole thing isn't really a thing, because I think all the orcs are actually from browbeaten elves, aren't they? Or something. Like Sauron's or... Who was... Let's stop that. Who was Sauron's master? I think it started with an M. They're not like their attempt at creating their own people or something like that. They only said that they were killed or disfigured elves or something. But they were something. That's at least all I can remember. Okay. I haven't read all the books. It's been a while since I have, so... we can get gems! Nice! Leadership, standing ground. We'll just get standing ground. We don't need rally. Talking about the movies, haven't read the books. Okay. Fine, fine. I think Sauron's master was called like Morgoth or something like that. Part of the Lord of the Rings side conversation. Right. Yeah. How are we going for here?
I will not blight my soul.
You don't have walls. You're just a lot of peasants. Well. We've managed to take back Land of Assassins. We have 2 armies here poised to deal with the Bretonnians here. I'll have to march Jafar up from the south. I might siege them and then get Jafar to deal with one of the armies, and then we'll take over them, take over Bel Aliad. Then what? Might go for Black Tower of Arkhan. Then I might turn on Tic-Tac-Toe, depending on what their allies are. We're friendly with them, though. Zwap and I are eager to hear what you have to say. Zwap is his mount. What else do you say? Yep. Yes. I like that Creative Assembly went to the trouble of creating a language for them. Very impressive. Along with the Chaos, with the Beasts of Chaos language. Move Jafar as far away from hard counter Aladdin as possible. Where's Aladdin? He's showing people the world. Okay, you've moved.
Monster Slayer.
We'll just sit you over here. Bilbali is there. Sure. We'll end turn, see what happens, and then I'll probably call it for tonight. So, what goes on? There's a hero of Tlaqua. A bonus that Tic-Tac-Toe gets is that all of his heroes are mounted on pterodons by default. Pirates of Sartosa move around. Do stuff. Reikland destroys the Cabal. Grombrindle, the White Dwarf, is on the march. Hey! The halflings have taken back Iseschatten! Congratulations, you little perpetually hungry sods. Osland declares war on Black Crag. Well, it was coming. They haven't managed to take Karak Karak though. So this might be the Greenskins' demise here. Maybe they just need more focus, because they're sort of going everywhere and not really paying much heed to Karak. The Graf, who holds sway over this region, is offended that the Emperor did not invite him to the Grand Feast of Sigmarzeit. Diplomacy with them will be a little rocky for a while. Aww. -5 of diplomacy was a boot. Yeah, they hold Fort Oberstein too. How big is the Halflings realm? It's only that. How's it going?
Greetings on behalf of the Empire. Now what brings you here with a sheathed blade?
Not a greater pact? Nope. There's no advantage for the Empire in this. Oh. Fine, whatever. How are you going?
The nation calls.
Volmir Galsa. Looks much better than he did. A young, yet promising and brave prince of the Borderlands, Volmir is both an empathic leader and a tenacious fighter. Shadow Magnet Trinket, Killing Blow. He's immune to psychology. He's also got missile resistance. Oh, because he's got a shield. Right. And there's another Border Princess Lord up here. Gashnag the Black Prince. Under the illusionary facade of a mysterious, disfigured, yet benevolent prince, Gashnag is the last spiritual heir of Ushuran, the Strigoi Patriarch. So he's actually a vampire, but he don't look like it, because of magic. Got frenzy, disintegrating, regeneration, crumbling. He is undead, immune to psychology. I like the change to his model. He looks much nicer with that retextured face rather than the necromancer's wrinkly face. Okay, let's move up and have a look at the moot.
I trust no man.
Samwise, you have an army made up of rangers.
The nation calls.
Fine, whatever. If it works for you. Oh, the dwarves have taken Grenstadt. Are you at war with them? Did you just take that because it was there?
Messenger, spit out your words so I can be done with them.
Yeah, apparently you just took it because it was free. Ugh. But yes, that will probably be it for tonight for Warhammer 2 Total War. We've made a bit of progress, and it's much easier now that we are in pleasant environments. We probably could have done it faster if it had been an issue earlier, but whatever. So we'll end the session there. We're on turn 92. It's not looking too what's it called? Too like massive audible of Empire and Dwarves yet. The Dwarves are actually on the back foot against the Greenskins, but I have a feeling that's about to change. And the Empire is still fractured. Maybe I'll just sow a bit of discord in there. It would be nice if... I don't know. That's all behind. It's all besides. I'm not going to go into that all again. I've talked about all of that stuff. So that will be the end of Total War Warhammer 2 Araby for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you'll join me for the next one. I will stop the recording here